Fourth grade, this is our second day of Module 4, Lesson 1. Now that we have an idea of what these words mean, we're going to apply them today. So today will only be one note page. This is called Module 4, Lesson 1, Day 2, and we are still talking about our vocabulary for geometry. So this lesson is called Geometry Vocabulary. Pause this video if you need to, otherwise let's get going. Our objective today is I can identify and draw key terms in geometry. Use the following directions to draw a figure in the box to the right. Step 1, we're going to draw 2 points, W and X. Now, our endpoints can be marked in different places as long as we're both drawing endpoints. By the end of today's notes, you might have a picture that looks completely different than mine, but we should still have some of the same elements. I'm going to put my 2 endpoints at a diagonal like this. I'm going to label this one W and this one X. Choose where you want to put your 2 endpoints, and when you finish that step and they're labeled, you can check mark it off. B says, use a straight edge to draw ray WX. I know it's really hard to see that this is a ray. So on top of the label, I'm going to make a really dramatic arrowhead at the end of the W and the X for you to see right there. Because one side of that label ends and the other one extends, this is called a ray. It says use a straight edge, which is their way of saying use a ruler, or you could even use a note card from your teacher to draw a straight line. We're going to connect WX to create a ray. Remember, rays are labeled where the first letter is the one with the endpoint, and the second letter is the one that extends. So that means that W is the endpoint, and X is going to extend on in the other direction. I'm going to line up my 2 dots using the straight edge. Mine is a note card. And then once I've lined up, I'm going to draw a line against the edge of my note card. Now all I need to do is label my ray, and I can check it off. C, draw a new point that is not on ray WX. Again, I'm going to label WX with this arrowhead to mark that it was a ray. Label it Y. Now we have to put an endpoint somewhere else in our drawing, but it can't be anywhere on top of this line. It has to be in the open space. So I'm going to put mine down here and label it Y. I'll check it off when I'm done. And I'm ready for my next step. Next, they'd like me to draw line segment WY. Line segment WY means that both W and Y will be endpoints to this line segment. It will not go on in other directions from that endpoint. So I'm going to line up my straight edge again to W and Y, and I'm going to connect these 2 dots. And now that I'm done, I'm going to check it off. Step E. Draw a point not on ray WX or line segment WY. Call it Z. Okay, so we're going to put a new point. I'm going to put mine, I've got a big open space here. Put it down here. Call it Z. This is point Z. And I'll check mark because I'm done. Construct line YZ. If you look really closely, you can see that in the label they've got 2 little tiny arrows at the end. Let's make these arrows even more dramatic by filling them in. Remember, a line extends in both directions forever. Past Y and past Z, the line will extend. I'm going to construct line YZ by taking my straight edge, my note card, drawing a line that extends past both endpoints, and labeling them. Use the points you've already labeled to name one angle. Remember that the angle is the shared space between two lines, rays, or line segments that share a single endpoint. If I look at my drawing and you look at yours, even though we're going to have some different drawings, you should have two angles within your drawing that you made. Point W is shared between two, and point Y is shared between two. So these are two angles that we have. So we can choose one of them that we want to label. I'm going to label my top one shared with endpoint W. Remember that an angle is marked by an open crocodile mouth, and we label it with the three letters that share that angle. The order of the letters is important. The shared endpoint has to go in the center. We start at one end and go to the other end of the angle. We can go in either direction. We can call this X, W, Y, or we could call it Y, W, X, but the W has to be the center of that label. I'm going to call this Y, W, X. Today you're going to be creating more drawings like this on your problem set. Good luck!